Avengers, congregate. No, that's not right. I'll keep thinking.
Stop the car!
Earth's mightiest heroes are seemingly expanding their roster with every new project. Some retire or move on to that big Malibu mansion in the sky, but their legacy lives on. In this video, we will be exploring the Marvel heroes confirmed to be taking a spot on the Avengers lineup, as well as checking out some we hope get the official call to the big leagues.
Surprise!
This includes only the main Avengers team and no others, no matter how dark, young, West Coast, or fantastic they may be.
Oh, mixed it.
Which heroes are you excited to see return, join, and possibly lead? Let's find out right now. The Master of the Mystic Arts may prove to be the most valuable of the Avengers lineup in their coming fights. It already seems like Stephen Strange has somewhat taken over the role from Tony Stark as the centerpiece of this phase of the MCU. He's already had quite an impact on Spider-Man, and we know that very soon he'll have his hands full with all sorts of multiversal threats.
I need your help.
With threats like Kang the Conqueror on their way, having Doctor Strange on or even leading the team will be more important than ever, even if he winds up being the cause of some of these threats in the first place. Wanda Maximoff definitely has a lot to answer for.
I made mistakes.
But based on the Doctor Strange trailer, it seems like she might be getting a get-out-of-jail-free card based on the multiverse exploding. That being said, the Scarlet Witch has grown into possibly the most powerful being in the universe. She has already shown her strength against people like Thanos and Agatha Harkness, and has only gotten stronger since. She joined the Avengers way back at the end of Age of Ultron, and will likely be returning as their powerhouse. That is, of course, unless she goes crazy, traps the Avengers in a geometrically impossible hex, and forces their kids to play soccer with her kids again.
Somebody better be bleeding, broken, or on fire.
Believe it or not, I think this next one is more someone we hope we see on the lineup as opposed to someone who's confirmed.
Yeah.
Though he was officially made an Avenger in Infinity War.
Yeah, a couple times.
Conveniently, no one really remembers that. The one guy that was there is responsible for erasing Peter Parker from everyone's memory. It is unclear what is going to happen with Spider-Man now.
Yeah, me too.
He may keep to himself and stay out of the way of Avengers-level threats, and now that everyone has forgotten him, he has absolutely no connections to the real world beyond his Spider-Man moniker. He may fight with the Avengers, but the fact of the matter is, no one has any idea who he is anymore. Bruce Banner's status may be a little in question. The guy can't decide if he's green and huge or small and nerdy. His arm is still injured, but last we saw him in Shang-Chi, he was back to his normal Bruce self.
I don't have her number.
We also know that once he begins mentoring his cousin Jennifer Walters, he will be getting a greenish hue again. All in all, it's safe to say that Bruce will again fight alongside the Avengers. However, there is a slight chance based on recent rumors that he may actually be fighting on the opposite side. I would love to see a World War Hulk-style villainous turn from one of our favorite scientists. But given that he is one of the original members still remaining, it's likely the Avengers would be incomplete without the Hulk. Shang-Chi just became one of the most powerful additions to the Avengers roster, now that he has the mystical 10 rings under his control. Also, Katy is there as well.
Yes.
And she basically learned to shoot like Hawkeye in less than a day, so color me impressed. While it's not totally known where the next Avengers level threat is coming from, current members of the Avengers seem to have a vested interest in the weapons that allowed Shang-Chi's father to rule for so many years. Once they take a break from their karaoke, I believe they both will be great assets to the Avengers roster. Adam Warlock is already confirmed to appear in the next Guardians installment. However, there is really no confirmation as to where and if he will appear afterwards.
We're all very fascinated, Wayne.
For all we know, he could be a one-off character who perishes at the end of the film. So while Adam's future is uncertain, I think it is very likely we see him join the universe's greatest team of heroes, the Avengers. He has a long comic history with them, especially in stories like Infinity War, that have already played out, which means he has some time to make up. His connections to galactic and celestial beings could make the cinematic universe even larger than it already is. While the Guardians of the Galaxy are definitely their own super team, they already have a history of joining up with the Avengers when the time comes.
I'm all yours.
This is especially true since two of their members, Rocket and Nebula, likely exchanged phone numbers with the Avengers' main players during their 5-year dystopian time together. They may currently be on their own mission of trying to find a lost past version of Gamora, but once they do that, I imagine we will see them helping out Earth's mightiest heroes once again. Though if I was a betting man, I would say that not all of them make it out alive in their next movie. Drax. Is it even the Avengers without Captain America? No matter who is carrying the shield? Now that Sam Wilson is coming into his own as the new Captain America, he will likely take his rightful spot as at least a, if not the leader of Earth's greatest superhero team.
Captain America.
He recently formed a great friendship with Bucky, and became the symbol that Steve knew he could be. Therefore, it is safe to say that the military veteran and all-around American hero will be stepping up to fight the good fight for as long as he can. He could probably even do it all day.
It's always that last line.
Mark Spector will be appearing in his very own Disney Plus show very soon. With the arrival of Moon Knight, the MCU is getting much weirder.
Face the vengeance of the Moon Knight.
Moon Knight is a character who could add a very interesting dynamic to the Avengers roster. We don't yet know where he will be at the end of his show, and honestly, he strikes me as more of a lone wolf type of guy. At least one of his personalities does. I, however, would be delighted to see a dark and mysterious character like Moon Knight join the Avengers team, if only to freak out people like Rhodey and Bucky. The caped vigilante would be an excellent addition to the Avengers roster, and all his alternate personalities would be as well. Both Scott Lang and Janet Van Dyne are set to have more adventures in the MCU, and I don't see them not joining up with the Avengers when the time comes. Especially since they seem like they may be the first ones to come into contact with Kang the Conqueror, the next big Avengers threat.
The rebels and the Avengers together.
The Ant-Man team is on the forefront of scientific discoveries relating to the quantum realm, meaning they may be the first to discover a multitude of threats that no one previously knew existed. Regardless, we have already seen from Hawkeye that they are sharing technology and hero secrets with other past and future members, meaning their spot is pretty solidified. How could the God of Thunder not eventually be returning to the Avengers team? He's one of the original 6 still going. In his coming film as well, we may see Thor grow to the strongest he has ever been. And this is a guy who already took out Thanos. He will definitely be dealing with the fallout that Endgame had on the cosmos. He has given up his throne to Valkyrie, likely to find his own path, which almost definitely includes a spot on the Avengers roster when the time comes. Last we saw he was traveling with the Guardians, but I can't imagine that lasts long, based on his and Star-Lord's lack of a bromance. Name one other character in the MCU who has had more of a roller coaster ride than our lovable god of mischief, Loki.
This is madness.
He has been a villain, anti-hero, a troublesome kid, a loving and hating brother and son. He has also been to locations in the MCU that no other character has ever ventured to. Last we saw him, he had fallen in love with a variant of himself named Sylvie, who just so happens to stab the one man in the heart who was holding back several evils of the multiverse. He then returned to a time variance authority he thought he recognized, but turned out to be something else entirely. Loki right now has the greatest knowledge of the multiverse and is rumored to be appearing in the Multiverse of Madness to aid Doctor Strange.
Things just got out of hand.
I think the best place for Loki to go now after his long journey is to become a full-fledged hero, and fight side by side with his brother as an Avenger, and not someone who is unleashing an alien army on them.
But we're supposed to die.
Carol Danvers has been set up to be one of the universe's oldest and greatest heroes. She will likely be leading most galactic charges, especially with storylines involving Skrulls and Celestials that have been set up. Not only will Captain Marvel be rejoining the team, but she could be bringing some other Marvels with her. I believe Kamala Khan will make a better Young Avenger, but I see no reason why Monica Rambeau's version of Captain Marvel, aka Photon, couldn't join the Avengers team right alongside Carol. This is of course right after whatever beef there is between the two captains is squashed. Oh snap, we've got the Sorcerer Supreme in the house. Wong slightly shocked everyone in an underrated moment of No Way Home when it was revealed that since the passing of the Ancient One, Wong had taken over the role of Sorcerer Supreme. I like to call him the Nick Fury of Phase 4, since he seems to be popping up in everything including Shang-Chi and Spider-Man. He is already working closely with people like Bruce Banner and Carol Danvers, so I think the Avengers can rest easy knowing the Sorcerer Supreme Wong will be on their side. Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk, is already confirmed to be appearing in her very own Disney Plus show. However, like a few others, we simply do not know where her arc will leave her at the end of her first Marvel project. The best case scenario is that her cousin Bruce helps her master her power, and she becomes not only a member but also the legal representative of the Avengers. It's not quite clear that she will be a character willing to join a team with such a history as the Avengers, but hey, we can all cross our fingers and hope and dream. Vision. What a complex android. We've seen his life end on multiple occasions at this point, and yet he is still kicking around. The last time we saw what I think we can safely call the main Vision, albeit a lot whiter than he used to be, he had just had his memories restored and flew off to who knows what. I imagine after some brief soul searching and learning how to live without the Mind Stone embedded in his forehead, Vision will find his way back to logically fight on the side of good once again. The Eternals are a super team all their own, and I think some of them could make the leap to join Earth's mightiest heroes. Before his demise, Icarus spoke about wanting to be the next leader of the super team. We may have lost some along the way, but Eternals like Cersei, Thena, Kingo, and now Star Fox are all out on missions of their own. Once they complete those missions, however, and find the Eternals they are looking for, some of them may choose to return to the planet they call home, and risked so much to save. There was a time where I really thought this was an impossibility, but with the release of No Way Home, Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock has made his absolutely official MCU debut.
Take your shot.
Kevin Feige has even revealed that he will be the official Daredevil of their cinematic universe. We are still a little unsure how canon the Netflix show will be, but depending, we could have a Daredevil that is no stranger to albeit subpar super teams. I believe Daredevil is a character who can easily make the transition from a street-level hero all the way to an Avenger. Bucky has been on quite a journey and has hopefully left his Winter Soldier persona behind. That being said, he is still chock full of super soldier serum, which makes him an absolute asset to Earth's mightiest heroes. He has basically been an official Avenger since the Battle of Wakanda in Avengers Infinity War. He helped the new Captain America, and possible leader of the Avengers, come into his own as his friend and ally. He may have had a rocky past, but I think we're at the point where Bucky's future is very heroic. Look, this next one has fought alongside the Avengers, but I would give just about anything for him to get the official knighting treatment just like Spider-Man got.
I'm Korg, this is me.
If our favorite rock alien Korg doesn't get an official spot on the Avengers, I will rebel. When we met Korg, he was a Cronin gladiator fighting for freedom,
Wooden fork.
albeit in a hilarious way on the planet of Sakaar. He then kept Thor company during the blip in New Asgard, and showed up when called upon to help fight the forces of Thanos. Korg is often a comedic relief side character, which, don't get me wrong, I want him to continue being because it's pure gold.
Oh, mixed it.
Okoye was definitely the official Wakandan representative on the Avengers team during the blip, and is therefore no stranger to working with the likes of space raccoons and war machines. She proved to be an extremely valuable asset as one of the most advanced society's greatest warriors.
You are not fit to be a king!
She will be an extremely important character, contributing to filling the hole that will be left without T'Challa, and her presence on the Avengers makes me extremely optimistic. Flash Thompson at the moment is a bit of a goofball.
Dickwad?
Tony Revolori is a fantastic actor and could give Flash a great character arc, taking him from high school bully to hardened military veteran. This could pave the way for the appearance of Agent Venom. This is especially possible now that No Way Home somehow allowed a piece of the Venom symbiote to enter the main Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yes, this would take a jump in time and perhaps Flash dropping out of MIT to join the military and see an unfortunate accident where he loses his legs, allowing him and the Venom symbiote to bond.
Venom away!
James Rhodes is now the oldest Avenger in terms of their first appearance. With Tony gone and Pepper likely only appearing as rescue on brief occasions so that she has time to take care of her daughter, that leaves War Machine as the only person from the original Iron Man still participating in anything remotely close to a battle.
Happy to help.
War Machine is actually set up to take on more of a leadership role on an Avengers team. He is a war veteran and the closest personal friend to the original leader Tony Stark. Going forward, the Avengers will need new leadership, and I think Rhodey has the experience and the drive to become that new leader. With the unfortunate passing of Chadwick Boseman, I have to believe that the Black Panther mantle would be passed to an existing character. I have been shouting from the mountaintops that Daniel Kaluuya is more than talented enough to flesh out the character of W'Kabi and give him a redemption arc great enough to become the protector of Wakanda, and possibly even its king, if only for a short while Shuri comes of age. You've just been made the ruler of the remnants of a small nation in Norway that was once the greatest superpower in the galaxy. And you have a pet flying horse. What are you gonna do now?
You're being serious.
Valkyrie has already taken up a spot on the large Avengers roster with her contribution to the Battle of Avengers Endgame. She aided characters like Spider-Man and Captain America and took out entire flying Leviathan beasts by herself. Valkyrie is a natural-born leader, and will likely get the chance to show that now that she has taken over the throne of New Asgard. Robbie Reynolds is a character I have personally been waiting to make their debut on the big screen. Unlike many other characters on this list, he is the only one I have not heard any sort of confirmation that they will make an appearance. The Sentry is a hero with godlike strength and abilities akin to Superman. He was actually a human who was mutated by a serum that gave him this incredible power. Yes, I know that sounds very familiar to a lot of other stories, but hey, the movies could make it their own. The Sentry has been a member of all manner of Marvel teams, including the Four Horsemen of Apocalypse, the Dark Avengers, and of course the Mighty Avengers, meaning his comic background makes him a perfect fit for Earth's mightiest heroes. I can't wait to go over the roster for Avengers 27, but I may need a couple hours for that one considering the stacked lineup that the 5th Avengers installment will have. Which characters do you hope make the cut to be considered one of Earth's mightiest heroes?